break.
What's up guys, welcome to the Revolution channel. It's Roxy here from the channel Roxxsaurus, and today I have a very special announcement for you guys. I can finally reveal to you guys that I have come out with 2 brand new products to add to my collection with Revolution. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you're no stranger to Revolution products and their collaborations. I have actually got my first collaboration right here to show you guys. Of course, first we have the Contour and Highlighter palette. We then have the Ride or Die eyeshadow palette and the Color Burst eyeshadow palette. As you guys love these 3 palettes so much, I have decided to add an extension onto this collection. And today I introduce you to a brand new family member, the Blush Burst palette. I've always loved blush. I just feel like it adds a really nice flush to the skin and just makes you look so much more like alive. So here is the Blush Burst palette in its glory. I absolutely live for the packaging. I wanted to go for a super girly all pink packaging for the blush palette. Inside we have 8 different shades. It was really important to me to create a palette that was very universal and that you could definitely find a shade for you inside. So the palette goes from very light shades all through to deeper shades for people with deeper skin tones. I'm really proud of it. I absolutely love the formula. I think it's very creamy, very buttery, and it sits beautifully on the skin. It's the kind of palette that isn't too in your face, so when you first apply it to your cheek, it's not like, oh my god, I look like a clown. I made it so that it was very buildable and wearable for anyone, no matter what their skill level is at makeup. We then also have the Ride or Die Lip Kit Trio. I've always wanted to have my own lipsticks because I can never really find what I want in a lipstick. So inside the Lip Kit Trio, we have 3 different lipsticks. The packaging is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. As you can see, it has my little Roxy logo on it that I've actually handwritten. The shades of the lipsticks are an assembly of hues of like nudes and pinks. It's basically just what I wear every single day. The first lipstick is the lightest of the 3. It's actually a cream formula, whereas the other 2 are matte formulas. I love to wear this one on its own. It's a really nice creamy formula, but because this one is the lightest, I do actually like to use it as a topper on top of the 2 mattes. The next shade is the shade London. This is a really nice taupe kind of shade. This shade is very neutral, so it's kind of like in between. It's not too warm, not too cool, so I think it's perfect for most skin tones. And lastly, we have the shade Tokyo. This is the shade I'm wearing right now. It's a beautiful wearable pink. It's kind of like that My Lips but better sort of shade in a matte formula, and I think it's a really nice way to wear a pink. So both of these products are now available to purchase online. If you guys did want to try them out, I will have all the links in the description, so make sure you guys check that out. I want to say a massive thank you to the Revolution team for allowing me to have another opportunity at creating a product. I've honestly always loved makeup, and it's so special to me that I can create my own makeup and bring it out to the world to you guys. I love working with Revolution because they really let me have that creative freedom and let me create whatever I please. And what I felt like was missing the first time, I've created the second time around. I hope you guys check out the products and love them as much as I do. Let me know which one is your favorite out of the whole collection. So now that I've given you guys the lowdown of the new products, I thought I would show you guys this look and how I achieved it using the whole collection, so let's jump into it. So for today's look, I'm not just going to use one blusher because I really want to show you guys how more than one looks on my face. So I'm going to do a bit of layering, I'm going to do a little bit of a gradient, and this is actually a thing that I don't see too many people talk about, but blush contouring is actually a thing. So today I'm going to be taking a slightly softer blush kind of towards this side of the palette. I'm going to be applying that right to the cheek, but then I'm going to be using a slightly darker shade and actually just placing that right into the contours of my cheek. So I think for this look, I'm going to take the pink one. This is actually one of my favorites. I think it's a really nice everyday kind of blush and it works on most skin tones. So I'm just going to pat that right to the center, kind of onto the apple of my cheek. So as you guys can see, the pigment is definitely there. It is there, honey, but it's not like too much. Like, you know, you don't want your blush to be too visible because then it doesn't look too natural. And I feel like I've definitely achieved that with this blush palette. I think it's very wearable for everyone. So now that we have that really natural kind of pop of color, I'm gonna take a slightly darker shade and I'm actually gonna go for this one right on the end of the palette. And with this, we're essentially doing the same thing as you would with a contour or bronzer. You want it to go kind of from like the light lightest shade all the way to the darkest. If you're a person that doesn't like to use too much contour or bronzers, I feel like this is a really nice way to still get that chiseled effect, but with using blusher. I'm also gonna apply a tiny bit of that blusher onto my nose because I really like that all over flushed kind of effect. And now lastly, I'm gonna take this really nice neutral peach shade, and I'm just going to basically kind of use that to blend all of the blushes together. And this is a really nice blush on its own as well. It's very natural and perfect for people with a paler skin tone. But for me, I like to kind of just use it to blend everything together and kind of tone everything down. So that is my finished blusher. I am just obsessed with that really nice flushed, healthy kind of look to my face. And even though I've just kind of contoured with my blush, I am still gonna go in with an actual contour. You guys know me. So of course, I'm gonna be taking my Roxi X Revolution highlighter and contour palette. This palette, I've gotta say, is one of my most used products. Ever since it launched, I have not stopped using this. I mean, look at it. It is absolutely battered up, and this is actually my second palette since it's launched. As you guys can see, I've definitely got some favorites in this palette, especially this contour shade right here. So I'm gonna take a brand new one so you guys don't have to look at this crusty, dusty thing anymore. Ta-da! There's literally nothing better than a fresh new palette. So I'm gonna take this shade right here and just kind of go into the hollows of my cheek just to give a tiny bit more dimension. I really like that carved out cheekbone look. And to finish off the skin, of course, I'm gonna be using highlighter. So I'm gonna be taking this one from the same palette. This is like the perfect everyday highlighter. I'm sorry, but that highlighter just hits right every time. All right, so the base is now finished. Now, naturally, the next step of my makeup would usually be my eyes, but because I haven't launched an eye palette, I'm gonna be using the lip kit next. I feel like you guys probably would just skip straight through the eyes anyway, so I'm just gonna give you guys what you actually wanna see first. So like I said, in the lip kit, you get 3 different lipsticks of 3 different neutral / nude colors. So with the shade Tokyo, I'm just gonna take this and apply it all over my lips, as this is the matte formula, so I want it to be really long lasting for this look. I may be a little bit biased, but I'm not gonna lie, I absolutely love the formula of these lipsticks and what we've managed to achieve with them, because honestly, when you apply it, it is like the perfect consistency. It's really easy to work with and really easy to like spread, but you don't need a lot at all. And then just to kind of add a little bit of something on the top, I like to take the shade New York, which is the lightest nude. This is the one in the cream formula, and I just kind of like to use it as like a little highlight right in the center of the lip for almost like an ombre / gradient effect. So I kind of just apply that right to the center of my lip. As you guys can see, instantly it kind of brings my lip forward, and then I just kind of pat it in with my finger. As you guys can see, the ombre isn't too visible. It's very subtle and natural looking, and I just feel like it's really made my lip look more 3D. So as you guys can see, this is what both of the products look like on my face. I've been using both of these products for literally months on end now, and I've just been waiting for the day they've launched so you guys can try them too. I'm so happy with how they have turned out, and I hope you guys love them as much as I do. Since I haven't launched anything for my eyes this time, I'm gonna be using one of my first collections. I think I'm actually gonna use the Color Burst palette this time, because I use this palette every single day, and this one, I mean, it's a little bit more colorful. I still love it so much, but there's not always an occasion to wear color. But like I said, to celebrate this launch, as everything is kind of like pink themed, I'm gonna go for a pink look, of course. So the first shade I'm gonna be taking is the shade Peaches from this palette. I'm just gonna pop that right in the crease. I absolutely love this shade. I sometimes just use this shade on its own. That's how nice it is. I'm then gonna take the shade Fetch and kind of just blend that through the crease and more into the outer corner. I'm then also going to take this shade Fetch also on my lower lash line as well to kind of tie the whole look together. I'm then just taking the shade Timmy to kind of use as a slight highlight right in the center of my lid. And that is literally the finished eye look using the Color Burst palette. I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. I usually would add a slight shimmer to it, but I quite like the matte look. I'm just gonna pop on some eyelashes and eyeliner off camera, and I'll be right back. So I'm back and my makeup is finally finished. I am obsessed with how this look turned out. I've gotta say, I may be a little bit biased, but I am just obsessed with how my blush is looking. I feel like my skin looks really nice and healthy, and the lipstick is just a perfect match with this eyeshadow. So here are my babies. I'm so excited. These are finally in the world. They're out there. You guys can get your hands on them. Think of these two products as like an extension of my already existing collection with Revolution. That's basically what I wanted with these two products. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy the products, and make sure you guys check out the full launch video on my channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and hopefully see you soon. Bye! Mwah.